Pasha Pyro, wine at 7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. So look, right? Before we get started, run through some things here that you can quit. All right? You can quit the job you hate. Quit the people around you that aren't making you better. Right? Quit other people's expectation of you. I'm just picking some of the lists here from the thought catalog I found. And quit being afraid of the things you want, right? Definitely quit hating yourself. Quit your almost relationships. All right, so you get the picture, right? So what I want to do today is I want to go over the real reason behind a lot of what you might say separations, right? At this present time, you know what I mean, in society. Why that 7? This is why. This is why. It's why net 7. All right, so check it out, right? Let's go into it. I got a little presentation I prepared for you. I'll be mixing things up here. Stay tuned for more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let's go. So it's saying source versus resource. All right. And this is something, you know, like I always say, grab your peoples, grab your family. You know what I mean? Sit down and watch this together. I think it'll promote a lot of healing that you may or may not even know you needed. But this is what's going on. You know, we break things down based on etymology here at YNet 7. Spelling, words, you know what I mean? They all have power. So we can summarize a lot of stuff. And this is why when you get through watching some of a lot of the YNet 7 materials, things don't affect you. People don't affect you emotionally anymore because you understand what they don't. All right? What they may not, rather. So, source versus resource. Know your value by me, Pasha Pavo. Go ahead and subscribe, like. It really helps the channel. Share the content with people that you know could benefit. Even if you don't sit down together, send it to your friends, family. Let's get this. This is what we need right here. This work. All right. So when you look at the word source, right? Source is a support or base. All right? Support or base. And I put over there on the left, right here, support actually means to put up with. You know what I'm saying? Support means to put up with. We did a whole video on that on YNet 7. Go ahead and flip back through. I don't remember the title off the top of my head, but flip through the sections and find a video where we broke down support. Right? So support means to put up with. And think about erect. You know what I mean? As in a building, a construction, a project, a manifestation. You know what I'm saying? You need the source to put it up. You know what I'm saying? Without the source, you can't put anything up. And there's many different sources in a completed project. And the base is the foundation, right? So we got that. Now, resource is stock or reserve available. So once they find a source for something, right, they can manipulate the source and create a product. And with that product, they can create a resource, meaning stock or reserve. You see what I'm saying? So all right, if you're with that, now let's move into nature. Nature is bodily processes, restorative powers of the body, innate character and disposition. But look at it, 1803 or 1380, excuse me, because it was originally 1275. But they're later, shortly earlier, 100 years or so, right? They start using it as inherent creative power or impulse. You know, we talk energy, we talk magic here on YNet 7. That's no secret. Creative energy, inherent creative power or impulse. Now go back to nature. Bodily process, restorative powers of the body. Now, when you look at reserve, it's to retain. So the great resignation, when people say the great awakening, they're really talking about the nature reserve. All right. Can you relate? People leaving the jobs. Look, are you a source or are you a resource? Because right now, what's everybody's talking about resources. So much so that in some cases they have confused you with being a resource instead of being the source. Right? Human Resource Office. Remember, resource, stock, reserve. Lawyer, retainer. Right? Reserve means to retain. The source is the support or the base. You got sayings out there like, behind every great man is a great woman, and behind every great woman there's a great man, and blah, blah, blah. This so it's balanced. Which one is the source and which one is the resource in that example? So people have gone to work for so long. You know, people have been in whatever that relationship is in their life. You know what I mean? People have been telling themselves about themselves in certain ways. Whatever it is, all that list of things that you could quit doing. You got to ask yourself, are you the resource or are you the source of it all? And when you look at that, you're probably realizing that you're the source, and you've been you got to stop. You got to stop acting like a resource. And what happens is, because so many people are conditioned to feel and act like resources, sources come along and people don't know what to do with them. Or they do know what to do with them, but they don't want to share them with you because, wow, if they help build such and such company up to this level of achievement through just changing the intangibles. I don't want them to empower everybody. Right? I need to reserve their capabilities to improve what's around me so that I can, that's the ego. You see what I'm saying? So they have conditioned a lot of people, or I'm not going to say it like that. Let me say it like this for your entertainment purposes only. A lot of people seem to be conditioned to act as resources. And I want you to leave this video knowing that you are a source. I need you to tap into your nature reserve. Now you can relate to the people that are leaving jobs, leaving relationships. You can relate to creative people. You can relate to researchers, right? The source is inside of you. And see, the thing is, when you're a resource, you're a stock. So it's like, you want this one or that one? And we got both of them on the shelf. Which one you want? You see, but in reality, especially when you're creative, there's these intangibles that only you possess that make what you produce one of one. You can pick another person to do a logo because they charge $5 on Fiverr. Or you can ask yourself why Pepsi paid $1.2 million for their logo. That's why I make sure my clients get Pepsi work and not $5 work. The source is inside of you. But don't let people make you a resource or have you acting like you are a resource. Could this be why they're now, reconsidering the First Amendment? You see, because in order to help build a narrative, you must comply. Can you relate? Like a hat on the wall, a tool, the machine, an accessory. See, that's what they want you to be, an accessory. That's how you felt, whether you realize it or not. Accessory, per Webster. We're not even going to go into the etymology factor. We're going to keep it here at Webster for you to make the point simple. An object or device that is not essential in itself, but adds to the beauty, convenience, or effectiveness of something else. Hold on, let's do that again. An object or device that is not essential in itself, but adds to the beauty and convenience or effectiveness of something else. So just like a nature reserve, you go to a zoo, you could say that's a nature reserve. You know? And to put it as a metaphor, a lot of people are not only wanting to get off or realizing a plantation effect, they're realizing the zoo effect. You know, so what they want is they want control of you as an accessory, right? Here, I got this for you for short. Source refers to a place, person, or thing from which something originates. And resource is a stock or supply of money, staff, materials, and other assets that can be used by an individual or organization in order to function efficiently and effectively. See, it's kind of like wordplay. If I say you're a great resource, you're replaceable. You're expendable. So your human resources department is there because it's dealing with expendable items. When you're the source, you see what I'm saying? It's different. So for the same reason they're calling you a great resource, you need to know that you are the source. Unless you're just like retail. You know, like you go to Walmart as a resource, but they're not the source of what you're sourcing. You see what I'm saying? The hat on the wall, the tool, the machine, an accessory. That's what they got you conditioned to be. Many people. And a lot of the times the reason why you're a lot of your outcasts know this. And this is actually what they're, been trying to say. And the people that know the same thing, they want to make sure that the hats on the wall feel as though they add beauty, convenience, or effectiveness to something else. Yeah, focus on that, because if you were the source, it wouldn't be here without you at all. The way that it is today. So, of course, let's minimize your self-respect. Right? As you can see in B of accessory, number 1, it says a thing of secondary or lesser importance. I say, Pasha, why everybody wants you to, why you won't join nobody? Like, as far as some huge group. And it's because, right here, a thing of secondary or lesser importance. That's where you get into sovereignty mindsets at. Like, I was like one of the only people I ever seen at work that be like, well, I ain't gonna say it like that. What I want you to do is when you go to work, know that you're your own boss. Like, the company wants you to feel like, the overall of the company is greater than you. So when it gets into law, per Webster, it's saying A, a person not actually or constructively present, but contributing as an assistant or instigator to the commission of an offense. Now, when I say law, I don't necessarily there's other laws besides criminal. You got laws of nature, you got laws of physics, right? And when you talk to energy, that's no different. It has laws. So think about this. An investment, because I had a conversation with several people when we be talking about investments, and I'll be like, yeah, I always like to invest in others, you know, that I feel like it's doing a great thing. And or just you know, a part of the community. And that investment, you know, again, when people are resource minded, oh man, when people are resource minded, they don't see that you are the source of resources because they're too busy looking for resources. And like we said earlier, or they see that and they got to deflect you from everybody else so you don't become the source of everybody else's success, because their greed doesn't want other people around them to be successful. So we got to keep you a secret, right? Trade secrets, right? So, which actually sometimes that works into your favor, especially being a creative, because you don't want to, you know, you ain't trying to be out there like that in that light, you know. 5 million people you can reach if you get 500 people going right. You see what I'm saying? Focus on the 500 people instead of trying to feel like you gonna go reach 5 million by yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's more efficient of a process. But look, check it out. So you got a lot of creators know that, a lot of creatives naturally, this is truth, but it's not necessarily looked at as a bad thing. Like I said, it's just laws of nature sometimes. And the commission of an offense, for example, could, you know, a campaign. You got marketing campaigns, so you're offensively trying to engage with potential clients. That's an offense. You see what I'm saying? So a campaign, whatever you want to say, even if it was some sort of way you're doing defense or PR or whatever, I guess it's still part of the that same energy, right? So a person not actually or constructively present, but contributing as an assistant or instigator to the commission of an offense. So that's where I get into what I was saying earlier, where you got people, businesses, companies, and when you look behind how they got to where they're at, there's really like this one person that's responsible for it, but either they know it or they're in such denial that they want to be the face of everything. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it depends on the person. Do you want to play the background? Are you cool with that? Then go ahead and be a graphic designer. And like, who designed Pepsi's logo? Most of y'all don't know, but you know Pepsi's logo. You see what I'm saying? And whoever it was got a 1.2 million. You know, people that aren't ready for this level, they're gonna feel like Pasha just want to hear their self talk. The people that are ready to connect and if you can connect to this, then let's go. That's all. Let's go. This is what we're dealing with here. Because I'm not gonna put it to you. I'm not gonna pacify the nature reserve. Because this is the reality of the elements. This is the reality of the construct. So why pacify? This will help you understand the people that's around you too. How do they look at you? Are they viewing you as a source or a resource? And then compare that with, is that what you wanted or not? Is that what you are okay with inside? A person who knowingly that a crime has been committed aids or shelters to the offender with the intent to defeat justice. You went to work, you know it ain't right that so-and-so, such and such, such and such. You know that one product you made was fucked up. You put it in the box anyway. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it go so like criminal system with this talk. Right? Keep it more simple. You know what I'm saying? You know it ain't supposed to be, you shouldn't have to take no vaccine, but because your neighbor did, you're going to criminalize everybody that don't want to. Right? You're going to try to defeat justice. You got the vaccine, now you want everybody else to wear a mask because you was just saying how confident you are with getting the vaccine, but maybe you're too unconfident that it'll work, that now you back in the mask. Because why you need a mask if the vaccine worked? If COVID or the shit going, kill a person and they okay with that, that's their choice. I mean, you don't stop them from joining the military. You know what I'm saying? But a person who knowingly that a crime has been committed aids or shelters the offender with the intent to defeat justice. Accessory. They want you to be an accessory. That's why they mad that you don't, play their game. You see what I'm saying? Because they wanted you to be an accessory. They wanted you to be the hat on the wall, the tool, the machine, an accessory. Like I said earlier, I got the hoarder at the top. Like I said earlier, people are so concerned with resources. What's in stock? What's on reserve? How much money you got? How many square feet your house? How many cars you got? In other words, how many bodies you got? In other words, everything's external. So they overlook even the opportunity to be a source, or they overlook that the source in you, because they never stop to look at what's inside of themselves. One, you can't see inside somebody else if you ain't took the time to look at yourself inside, right? And that's where the creatives, that's where you find the ability to produce the future. So all this mental war actually retards our progress to the future, because the hoarders are trying to hoard what was. Because it has to already have been made to be put on stock or reserve. And the more you focus on being a resource, you're focusing on being the best of something that already was instead of the best of what's yet to come. So know that you are the source. And in some cases, you're the only source. That's how you add value. And a lot of people confuse value added with resources. And a lot of people make a lot of money, friends, whatever you may think is valuable to you. A lot of people get it from being seen as a source when they're nothing more than a resource. They're a retailer. So if you're the source, and people don't, you got to be responsible for like making sure that they know that you're the source and not a resource. So follow up for the future videos, right? Because this is what we're doing. I'm doing right now. This is what we're doing. We're actually going to be looking at resources, and everything's infinity. I understand, but we're going to break it down to these 4 sections. Natural, which we covered today. All right, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So the great resignation, the reason why you're getting divorced, whatever it is, it's because people are getting more in tune right now with their own natural reserve, their own nature reserve. And the source for a lot of people is often unseen. I'm Pasha Pyro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning. The replay.